Hey guys, I hope you're doing well. So this is just a personal update. Number one, I'm walking. I have a really bad limp, but I'm able to walk almost all the time now in my boot. Now I'm behind on the healing curve for what they want for me. I'm supposed to be walking even without the boot, and I don't really care that I'm behind anymore. I'm tired of being stressed out about everything, and I will heal in my own time. Excuse the background, all of our projects going on in our house, but yeah, so I'm behind and I feel like they should have given me PT, but they did not. And so I'm having to do everything by myself, and it's kind of difficult sometimes. And so I've tried walking without the boot, but my ankle gets bruised and really swollen, and it just sets me back for a few days because then I'm unable to walk on it. So yeah, that's where I'm at with walking. The good news is that I got to go down to the pasture and hobble my way into the barn, and I trimmed my goat's hooves. So it's been a couple of months. I usually do that every 2 to 3 weeks, and the poor guys, their hooves were so bad, but it'll get better. They're all trimmed up now, and I'll get things back to tip-top shape soon over a period of a month or so. But I learned how to do it without putting too much strain on my abdomen because I have that hernia, which I'll get to in a minute. So I'm learning to adjust to do my things, but do them carefully. So my husband was down there helping me, and I didn't have to use any core strength at all, really. So that's great that I can still do that. My hernia. So I found out a few weeks ago that I have a hernia, and it's really stressed me out because I do hope to have CRS and HIPEC number 2 and possibly high talk. If I need it, I may, but I'm not sure. And so the team that I want to see, it has to be a new team because my specialist doesn't perform high talk where they are. So I would have to go to Baltimore. I think there's only a few in America, but I'd want to go to the team in Baltimore. And I do not travel well, and I wasn't planning on thinking about this at all until fall because our property is so much maintenance in the summer, and with wildfires and everything, I wouldn't want to leave home during this time. So I was planning on consulting in the fall, but with the hernia, I'm like, well, I should just get to it now and get it done, and then they can fix the hernia at the same time. So that really stressed me out, thinking about doing it quicker than I planned. But I was really relieved. I found out it's small. It's so small that they normally wouldn't operate on it at this size. So that makes me feel better because when they repair hernia, they usually use a mesh, which could cause complications for future surgeries. And I don't want extra abdominal surgeries. Each surgery creates more scar tissue, which creates other problems. So I didn't want to do that. And I'm glad that I don't have to. My big concern about it, why I felt so stressed, is because, sorry, we're going to talk about this. My bowel habits have completely changed and gone in the opposite direction, and I worry about bowel obstruction. So I thought that maybe this hernia was causing that, but my specialist, my oncologist, and my GI doctor have all looked at it, and they feel that it's not causing my issues, and it's too small to cause issues, but we do have to keep an eye on it because it could be very dangerous or deadly for me if it gets bigger and my bowel gets trapped in there. So for now, we're just keeping an eye on the hernia. We do imaging every 3 to 4 months, and all of my doctors will be keeping an eye on it, and we'll go from there. So I'm relieved I don't have to rush into any surgeries right now. And so that's where we are with that. As for the change in bowel habits, we're going to do a hydrogen breath test, which that means the day before I do it, I have to eat a very strict diet. It's chicken or turkey with just salt and pepper, rice, eggs, black coffee, and plain tea, no sweeteners or sugar. So that'll be hard for me. Last time I did this, the fasting, the strict diet, and then the test made me a total crazy person, and I picked a major fight with my husband. So This time I will make sure that I have some goodies at home to eat right after, because we live half an hour away from all the food that I would want after. And we're going to be prepared this time. So I have to do that. And then, so I eat that special diet the day before, and then I fast overnight. It's the best way to do it. Oh, and the caffeine withdrawals. That's what really set me off last time. So you fast overnight for a period of 12 hours, and then you have to be up for an hour, and then you start this test and you breathe through a special gadget. It's like a bag, and then you put it in these tubes that collect your breath, and then they're going to test it for sensitivities. And the GI doctor thinks that this is probably a new lactose intolerance, because I was not lactose intolerant last time we did this test less than a year ago. But I have been drinking whole milk. It's just so good. And that's kind of new. I don't normally drink milk. And if I do, I drink lactose free, or, you know, the Fairlife brand. I love that stuff. But I've been drinking normal whole milk, so that may be the issue. So I'm hoping it's something small like that, because if not, we're going to have to do a colonoscopy. And I know I should be doing them every year. It's been 2 years, but I just don't want to do it right now. So we'll see what happens. Also, my cat got out the other day, and that was really stressful because he's never been outside here, and he's a big chicken, and he doesn't meow. He meeps. And so he does this cute little meep, meep, and he's really quiet about it, or he does silent meows, like and so he got out, and he's also a big scaredy cat, and we have 7 acres and lots of critters around here that could get him, hawks and eagles and coyotes and foxes. And he had gotten out early in the morning, and thankfully my hubby just happened to be hiking in the back and looked in a hollow oak that had fallen down, and there he was. But my husband was like, he didn't make a sound. And I'm like, that's how he is. He's quiet, and he was scared. And so my hubby went to go grab him, and he ran down the hill under our porch, then to our garage, then back under the porch. And he was so scared. I mean, I could almost touch him from an opening in the porch, but he wouldn't come to me, and he wouldn't come to the treats. So we had to pull up boards on our porch, and I had to grab him when he tried to run. And as soon as we got him back in, he laid down like, hey, what have you guys been doing? Like, it never even happened. And he was so happy to be back inside. He's not normally a cuddly cat. He has a different way of loving, and it's usually throwing himself at my feet when I'm walking. But he doesn't like to be picked up. He doesn't like to be cuddled or pet very much. But he was like, just hold me. So I picked him up, and I put him in the crook of my elbow, and he was just looking at me with his eyes half closed in heaven. And I wiped him down with a washcloth and fed him, and he was so happy and so loving. And now he follows me almost everywhere. I don't know where he is right now, but he follows me almost everywhere. He's got to be in the same room as me now, and he didn't used to be like that. So now he loves me. And this cat, he's just funny. So I'm glad he's back and safe. That happened. That stressed me out. And then yesterday we thought our other cat got out. She's even more of a scaredy cat, and we couldn't find her. But we found her. She was hiding downstairs. And when this cat hides, you are not finding her. We never know where she goes. And we look everywhere that we could possibly look that we know of. I don't know where she goes, but she's really smart. But she finally came out, so that was a relief. And right after that, I was like, this stress, like it's gonna kill me. All this stress, all these problems. Why does life have to be so stressful? Why are there so many problems? I don't want any more problems today. And I went to go make my breakfast, and guess what? My fridge is broken. So thankfully, I've been dabbling in appliance repair, and I have a whole basement full of fridges. So we ended up bringing up the fridge that came with our house that we use for our beer and soda fridge. And it was a major downgrade. It's so tiny compared to my other one. I don't know how people use normal sized fridges, but I cook a lot, and I'm a chef at heart, and I had to throw away a lot of stuff, and it's just really hard for me to deal with any changes at all, ever. I don't handle that well. And the fridge isn't working as good as it should be. The fridge part works fine, but the freezer doesn't. So it's just stressful. I had to go without my ice packs yesterday for my ankle. But you know, I'll adjust, or I'll be able to fix my fridge, hopefully, my main fridge, but I'll figure it out. But just the stress of everything really gets to me, and I really have to learn, I know now, I really have to learn how to unwind and ground myself and not let everything stress me out so bad. So that's where I'm at. My oncologist and I discussed putting me on antidepressants, but I'm not typically a depressed person. I think, and my social worker and my oncologist all think it's just situational. So I feel like once I'm walking like a normal person again and able to drive, that I will feel my normal cheery self. I'm already feeling better knowing that I don't have to have hernia repair right now, and taking care of my goats that I've been stressing out for months about. So I really need to learn. I've always had a hard time being me, making things about me, and I have to learn how to do that. So if you struggle with that, make sure you take care of yourself. And it does have to be about you sometimes. You really do have to focus on your well-being and your mental health. So those are things I've always struggled with, and there's kind of a stigma with that, like dealing with your mental health when you're fragile. And I've just been very fragile lately, and I just have to learn how to deal with it. So that's what I'm focusing on now. I'm going to be doing another video here soon. It's going to be fun and helpful. So, well, my idea fun. So I'll get to that soon, and have a good one. Bye.